Hello! Last year I told you about my collection of Nålbinding books, and now I have added to the collection. This is a Japanese Nålbinding book written by Keiko Kitamura and Hiroko Matsubara Brännholm. I think she's married to a Swedish person. I don't know what the actual title is, but the English title is A Nålbinding Guide for Beginners. It is almost completely in Japanese. There are some subtitles that don't, like here, for example, basic lesson number 3, Brode and Stitch. So you get like one bit of English and then the rest is Japanese. But the thing with this book is that the pictures, the illustrations are really good. And there are like arrows and stuff to show you what you're supposed to do. And for the patterns, they've made like a system to show you how many stitches you're doing and how many should be reduced and so on. They also have patterns for, let's see, there are patterns for socks, of course, hats, but also these fancy braided mittens, and why can't I find it? A sweater! So this is the actual, like, I think this is the only book I have in my collection that has a sweater recipe. It's very much a modern interpretation, and like, here's a recipe for a heart, for example. Like, it's using Nålbinding in the way that you would use any yarn craft in modern times. It's not really dealing much with the history. It's all modern application, really. I think there might be a bit about history, like in the beginning. Like here, there are some traditional mittens, for example. It also, I think this is a bit about the history. I don't know. I can't read Japanese. Oh, here are some bits in in a thing I can understand. Nålbinding, single needle binding, knotless knitting, and yeah, some other stuff. Even though I can't read Japanese, I really find this super useful and super, like, the instructions are so clear. I really wish someone would translate this book. That would be lovely. But otherwise I just think it's a really good resource for wanting to do, for example, this braided mitten, or let's see, this type of sock, or a cowl like this. There are just so many really fascinating things in this book. And it just seems like, I don't know, it just really seems like a well thought out, well made modern instructional book. And I wish I could understand it all very well. Oh yeah, this one. This is for braided edge, and I really, really like this instruction, and it's quite easy to see how to do it and how you end up with the braid at the end. So yeah, I recommend this book even if you don't understand Japanese. I got it from Japanese Amazon. So you could try that. The shipping time is a bit long, and the shipping cost is also quite high. Yes, yeah, also there's some color work covered in this book. I just think it's a really, really good resource, and even though there's a language barrier, I really appreciate this book. Really, really love it. So, yeah. That was it about this book, A Nalbinding Guide for Beginners, in Japanese. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye!